Canto 30. The pagan gods were moved by earthly lust. Spite against woman whom their husband raped made Juno far, far crueler than most. Juno annoyed the Theban Somali by bringing madness to their family. One, thinking wife and children were wild beasts, slaughtered his son and drove the rest to drown. Enslaved after her city was destroyed, Hugiba, the queen of Priam, king of Troy, was also maddened by the same false gods. Seeing her daughter slain upon the tomb of Achilles, her son's corpse on a beach, she did not weep but barked like a rabid dog. No madness out of Thebes or Troy was worse than two I saw now, bare, white, hungry ghosts who quickly crawled on hands and knees around, boring the hapless invalids like hogs. One from behind bit Cappuccino's neck and dragged him, thus gripped painfully away, face down and belly ripped by rough ground. Grifalino, shuddering with dismay, said, "Know that soul was Gianna Shichi, mimic and forger of a dead man's will, thus mutilating his identity. So he is damned to mangle dead souls still." "As you were not tormented by the other," said I, "please tell me who that other was." "Mira, a Greek who broke two moral laws," said he, "for in disguise she slept with her father. In stolen shapes that pair indulged their greed. Now they must gnaw at us like starving apes, though that was not how they preferred to feed." As the two furies vanished from my sight, a sinner close at hand said, "Look at me. Pity poor Adam's miserable plight." So dropsically swollen up he was. At first a belly like a giant lute was all that I could see. Then saw attached his shrunken head with raw, cracked lips that said, "Once I owned all a man could want, but now water just one wee sip is all I need. The land I love, the place of my misdeed, has cool wells, small refreshing streams that slip between green hills just down Castino's valley into Arno. Stern justice decrees these memories hurt more than my disease. A master goldsmith, I, in Rodana, forged the bright florins for Romanus counts, thus helping them pay off outstanding debts. To know my fakes required uncommon sense. 22 parts were gold and 3 pretense. But forgery was proved. I burned for that. Being a workman and an employee, aristocratic folk employing me suffered no loss of life or liberty. Oh, how I long to see the wretches here, Guido, Alessandro, and their brother. I've heard that one is here. My spite is such I'd gladly go. Did not wait tie me down. 100 miles to gloat upon the sight, though I could only crawl an inch each year. I said, "A couple on your right hand side are reeking like roast meat. Have you their name?" He said, "They were here long before I came. Potiphar's wife is the one who falsely blamed Joseph for her adulterous desire. Next her is Sinon, the Greek liar, whose falsehood led to setting Troy on fire." Annoyed by his reply, with sudden fist the Greek punched the massive paunch. Like a drum it boomed. The goldsmith smote the other's face. "Feel how my arm has strength my body lacks." The answer came. "You loved flames while your arms had many coins to fake, but liked them less with arms chained to the stake." The coiner cried, "Since that fake horse disgorged your countrymen, Sinon is now the name for treachery." The Greek cried out, "Enjoy forever now the thirst that cracks your tongue. That rotten bung can't let out the foulness in your paunch, swelling it to a hedge that hides your face." The coiner sneered, "Again your tongue is wagged in vain. You crave cool water more than me. The scorching fever makes your thirst the worst." Then suddenly my master said to me, "Listen much longer to this sorry stuff, and we will start to have a quarrel too." He spoke so angrily I blushed with shame, knowing I was to blame. Seeking excuse, I longed for words, and found that no words came. The fun I'd found in their vile argument seemed a bad dream from which I could not wake. I stood there dumb, with my head bowed, until he smiled and said, "Cheer up. Do not regret faults you will not forget, so won't repeat. Less shame would clean you of a fouler sin. But joy in spiteful talk is always mean.